YouTube channel. I'm Russ, bringing you in the presenter's chair this evening. Not done one of these for a bit on the presenting front this evening, and Manchester United are taking on their bitter rivals Manchester City this evening. Manchester United have made 5 changes to their lineup from the 4-0 defeat at Everton, while Manchester City make 3 changes to their team from the win over Tottenham, should I say, at the weekend. And JB is standing by. He's down at Old Trafford for us, and he'll be bringing you the full confirmed team news very, very soon. As soon as the teams come out, he'll bring you all the important team news for you, so you know what the lineup is for the both sets of teams this evening. If I just run you through a quick few stats which I've got up in front of me myself. Wayne Rooney is the current top scorer in the Manchester derbies with 11 goals. Sergio Aguero, who plays for Manchester City tonight, in the lineup, he could move level with a brace tonight, or could go top goal scorer in the Manchester derbies by getting an hat-trick tonight. Will he get an hat-trick tonight? I wonder. JB will be able to describe the action for us and let us know if that's going to be the case. There's one other Premier League game going on this evening at Molineux, where Wolverhampton Wanderers are taking on Arsenal in the Premier League today. So hopefully we'll get a few goals in that one, so I can bring you up to date as well. At half time, we'll hear from managers that was involved in the Premier League games yesterday: Tottenham versus Brighton, and of course Watford versus Southampton, where Shane Long scored the fastest goal in Premier League history yesterday after just 8 seconds. So hopefully we'll have a fantastic game in store for you this evening. Manchester United taking on Manchester City, as I've said. Manchester City have scored 243 goals in the Manchester derbies so far between the two sides. Manchester United with 257 goals as well. So last time out, JB commentated on this one, the last meeting between the two sides, which was ended in a 3-1 City victory. Last time at Old Trafford, City won by 2-1, and Manchester United are leading on league games at Old Trafford as well. 33 wins for Manchester United, 20 wins for Man City, 26 draws in league games at Old Trafford. So we're waiting for the two teams to come out, and I understand it's been a bit wet across in Manchester this evening. And if we just fetch JB on for a second. And JB, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can. I'm with you here. It's a very raucous atmosphere, I can tell you, Russ, at Old Trafford tonight.
Yes, I understand it's been raining in Manchester as well tonight, JB. Is that correct?
It is correct, actually. It's been, well, it was lovely at the start of the day, and then obviously as it's gone on, it's quite wet. There's a few anoraks in the crowd. But I tell you what, the atmosphere here, your listeners, is absolutely tremendous, son. It's just Manchester derbies really are top. They always get overshadowed by Manchester United against Liverpool, but the Manchester derby we saw at the Etihad earlier this season was a raucous atmosphere. I expect tonight to be the same, and I expect it to be a really good game. And it really is. The onus is on Manchester United after 2 drubbings against Barcelona and Everton last week.
Yes, indeed, JB. So we'll come back to JB very, very soon. As soon as the teams come out of the tunnel. But I just wanted to clear up that for you to let everyone know that what the weather's been like in Manchester, the teams. And now in the tunnel, Ashley Young, who looks like with the captaincy for Manchester United, and Vincent Kompany looks like the captain for Manchester City this evening. And the teams are on the way out of the tunnel at Old Trafford. So let's hand over to your big match commentator. Is poised and ready. JB, it's time for you to bring us the scene and bring us the game in full. JB, it's all yours.
Thanks, Russ, and you'll hear from Russ again at half-time. Well, what an atmosphere. Manchester derbies don't get any bigger than this. Manchester United looking for a reaction after two massive defeats, one against Barcelona a week ago, and last week on Sunday when they were beaten very, very easily and quite comfortably by Everton. Well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came out and admitted that some of them will not be playing at the club and it will need wholesale changes. The team's about to walk out, company leading Manchester City, as Russ points out, and Ashley Young pointing the way for Manchester United as captain. This is a big game as Manchester United look to try and get back in the hunt to get into the Champions League next season. The only way they can do it is through the league. They can't win the Champions League, obviously. Manchester City going for only the three competitions now. They've already won the League Cup at Wembley. Now they're in the FA Cup final, which you can hear on this channel next month, and also the Premier League, which they're battling hammer and tongs with Liverpool. Liverpool incidentally play on Friday. Well, what an atmosphere. It's absolutely raucous. There are plenty of Manchester City fans that have made the short journey across. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer getting a nice reception there from the Manchester United fans, and he knows that the team owed them especially a very big performance here tonight. Right, just to confirm the two lineups very, very quickly. We'll start with Manchester United. There's 2 and 3/4 minutes to kick off, so we'll give you a rundown on the teams and the subs. Manchester United with David De Gea in goal, Lindelof, Darmian, Young, Smalling and Shaw, Dennis Pereira, Fred, Pogba, Lingard and Rashford leading the line up front. On the bench for Manchester United, you've got Romeo, the substitute goalkeeper, Alexis Sanchez, who could be one of those tipped to leave during the summer if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer gets his way, Juan Mata, Romelu Lukaku, Anthony Martial, Dalot and Nemanja Matic. For Manchester City, their first choice goalkeeper Ederson will play in goal. Then it's Kyle Walker, Vincent Kompany, Laporte and Zinchenko, Ilkay Gundogan, Fernandinho, the two Silvas, David number 21, who wears 21 incidentally, and Bernardo Silva, who wears 20. They're both, just to give you an idea of what they are, both have the same name. And then it's Sergio Aguero. As Russ points out, if he scores a hat-trick tonight, he will become the all-time top goal scorer in Manchester derbies, overtaking the current holder Wayne Rooney and Raheem Sterling, who's been in such terrific form this season. On the bench for City, Muric the goalkeeper, Danilo, Leroy Sané, Riyad Mahrez, Nicolas Otamendi, Gabriel Jesus and Phil Foden, who got the winner on Saturday against Tottenham. The referee tonight is from Birmingham, that's Andre Mariner, and his two officials, Scott Ledger with the coloured quarters, and with the clear flag we've got Simon Long, and the fourth official is Craig Pawson from South Yorkshire. We're a minute away from kick-off, and the atmosphere here at Old Trafford is absolutely electric. And of course, tonight the comment section is open for business. And of course, later on in the match, you'll have your opportunity to vote for JB Man of the Match from the 60th minute of the game onwards. But we're all set to go. They're just conducting the coin toss here. And Manchester United in the red with dark shorts and red stockings. And Manchester City in the sky blue with white shorts and sky blue stockings. Prepare to get this magnificent big Merseyside then, that's big Manchester derby underway. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, what a night for him. If United can somehow get a result here, Liverpool will be interested onlookers tonight, because if Manchester United were to get a positive result against Pep Guardiola's men, it would really put the pressure back on Manchester City. Incidentally, on Sunday, go to Burnley, go to my club, and that's no gimme as City get it underway. So this really is a pressure cooker of an atmosphere. Old Trafford is buzzing, and this is going to be one hell of a game. City attacking the Stretford end to our left in the first half, and Manchester United the goal to our right. This is Vincent Kompany on the edge of his own area, necking it back to Ederson, who was at fault for some of the goals in the Champions League loss against Spurs, albeit there were some controversial decisions according to the VAR. But that's all in the past now. Tonight, it's all about tonight. And this really is a big game. Manchester United really, pressure's on them really to perform. But I just wonder, of course, we've got Wolves and Arsenal. We'll keep you up to date with that during the evening, and that's been played now for 16 minutes. And just to remind you of the scoreline in that one, it's Wolves 0, Arsenal 0, and that's a big game as well for Arsenal, who amazingly lost very, very badly to Crystal Palace at home. They've been so reliant on their good home form that it's deserted them, and they're not been good troubles away, Arsenal, so we'll keep a very big eye on that one tonight. And of course last night you'll hear from the protagonists in last night's Premier League games. Brighton losing 1-0 late on to Spurs, so Brighton are still not out the woods yet with regards relegation. Cardiff still 3 points behind, and of course Shane Long scoring the quickest goal in Premier League history against Watford, although Watford snatched a late goal. 178 in the whole time Manchester derby, 73 wins United, 52 wins City, and 52 have been drawn as Edison takes the ball as Rashford was running forward inside the penalty area, but Edison was quickly off his mark and did really well. United's last 5 games, lost, won, lost, won, lost, and they were beaten 4-0 by Everton. And of course City have won their last 5 and beat Spurs not too convincingly on Saturday, but did enough. As City now try to launch an attack down the side, 2 minutes gone, still goalless here in this 178th derby. United have the upper hand, as I say, on wins. City miles behind in that respect, but they were sporadic for a period when City were in the old second division and 20 odd years ago, but they've been back on a regular basis for something like 16 years now, and with every derby beats a new chapter and drama every single season. Vincent Kompany back in the team tonight. Real City stalwart. He's been there now since 2008, and this is his 11th year at the club, where he settled in Manchester, has married a local girl incidentally, and has had some wonderful children as well, and he really has made Manchester his real home, and he really loves the place, and credit to Vincent Kompany. It's nice to see a player like that, so humble and so assured of himself, and he's a really good role model for any youngsters watching on and off the pitch. Meanwhile, City trying to go forward with Raheem Sterling, but good tackling there by the Brazilian Fred. But City win the ball back, and Zinchenko might get possession, but Young is there first on the near side for United. In fact, Young is fouled there as he tried to bomb down the right hand side. It's free kick just halfway inside the United half to Manchester United, which Ashley Young, who was fouled, will take, and he hits the long ball forward, and Rashford's claiming a free kick there. He seemed to go down. I have to say, I think he slipped there. Vincent Kompany was the other man allegedly involved, but nothing doing. We've got 4 minutes gone, and still no goals. And let's have a look what happened here. I'm just looking at a replay. Well, I don't know. It's 50-50 whether that one was going to be given or not. Kompany was a little clumsy, but maybe Rashford made it a little bit more of a meal of it than it needed to be. Here's Pogba now, just going out to the left now in possession for United. Has to play it back into his own half. Now Fred has it in the centre position, and then the ball is just sliced out of play over on the far side. And it's their worst loss at the game against Everton in all competitions since October the 23rd, 2016, a 4-0 loss to Chelsea. Here's Zinchenko now for Manchester City, who, as I said, have won their last 5 and look in imperious form. But in derby matches it means absolutely nothing. We've had 20 minutes incidentally at Molineux, and it's still goalless between Wolves and Arsenal. Another massive game as Wolves look to try and cement their chances of getting into the top 7. Arsenal to try and get into the Champions League positions. If we were to lose and United were to win, my goodness, that position would tighten up. Spurs, I think, will be assured surely of Champions League football. They've really, certainly since they've moved to their new White Hart Lane ground, they've really done terrifically well. Nearly 5.5 minutes gone here at Old Trafford in this 178th Manchester derby, and it's Manchester United 0, Manchester City 0. And Russ will be bringing you interviews with the managers from last night's games and their reactions at half time, and of course at full time we'll be hopefully bringing you reaction from both managers, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Pep Guardiola. But at the moment it's getting a little bit feisty. David Silva conceded another free kick. United have got on with it quickly, and the ball now played back to Darmian, and Darmian gets the ball back, and then Smalling with the ponytail gives it back to his goalkeeper De Gea, who was at fault for Messi's second goal in the Nou Camp last week, and a free kick has been given, fouled by Darmian, I think, on Raheem Sterling, and a free kick to Manchester City. And already Pep is out of his is in his technical area, and that is interesting. A terrific atmosphere, I must admit, and it's great to see so many good play so far, as the free kick is floated in for City inside the penalty area, and Company rescues the situation and gets the ball out to Bernardo Silva, far side, City right hand side, and Bernardo tries to get to the byline. Two United defenders were gauging upon him. Zinchenko now chips the ball in, but he chips it in with too much venom, and the ball goes whistling way past the left hand post and behind for a Manchester United goal kick, to the vast cheers of the Stretford End here at Old Trafford, this famous old ground, famously actually bombed during the Second World War, rebuilt it, and you look at the stadium now, it holds almost 77,000, and the atmosphere here is absolutely electric. 76,500 I think it holds, and it's a terrific venue for football. And you just wonder why not hold both FA Cup semi-finals here, because if you can get two good teams, and it would just sort of give that edge of a FA Cup semi-final back how it used to be. And here's Smalling down for Manchester United, and really this is going to be an important night for everyone concerned. Here's Paul Pogba getting it forward, but he's stopped by Fritz and Company, the long ball, and the last 10 straight league wins now. They've outscored the opposition 24 goals to 3. So this really is a big task facing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's men tonight. They know the goals that City can create. They can create them from almost anything. And I've had the privilege of commentating on City a few times this season, and my goodness, when they get into a final third, and they're so ruthless at finishing, they're just absolutely superb. Anyway, Luke Shaw with a throw in for Manchester United, deep inside the City territory, almost in line, in fact, with the edge of the penalty area, and a lovely little almost got Jesse Lingard in. It was a lovely little dummy there by Rashford. It almost came off there for Manchester United there that time. United starting with a very positive outlook here, but you can't obviously go against City at your peril, because City have got the quality and the capability to try and hit you where it really hurts, as Pogba tries to go down a blind alley, and he was robbed there by Gundogan on the far side. But Rashford again gone down there off the ball, and that's going to be a free kick to United, and Vincent Kompany is going to be the first recipient of a yellow card there. Bit clumsy really from the City captain there, as we just see the replay again. Yeah, Kompany completely deserves his yellow card there, and yeah, absolutely deliberately blocks off Marcus Rashford, and the first yellow card of this intriguing derby goes to the Manchester City captain. 9.5 minutes gone, still United 0, City 0. But Manchester United have a free kick just in about 15 yards inside their own half, just to the left of the centre circle. Remember, you can obviously we'll obviously check the comment section in a bit for any comments when we get a break in play, and we are live, so you have no excuses this time. And please feel free to comment. The comment section is open for business, as Lingard has it on the far side here from United. Now Shaw, and Lingard trying to get in behind, but Zinchenko got there first. Hurried little clearance back to Ederson. Didn't really reach only reached Darmian. Now the ball out to the far side, and it's Paul Pogba now. Back inside. This is good football from United. Ashley Young trying a shot of all people. Ball deflected away. Young now has possession. And already United now starting to ask 1 or 2 questions here. Luke Shaw has it now. Finds Pogba. Pogba taking on his man. Cross comes in into the 6-yard area, and Edison, good clean handle in there. And certainly goalkeepers are not renowned. Goalkeepers are not usually renowned for their Brazilian goalkeepers, that is, are not usually renowned for their clean catching, but Edison was very, very safe and secure and assured. And City now on the attack here with Raheem Sterling on the right hand side in such a brilliant vein of form at the moment in this 178th Manchester derby. It's going to be a tight one. These games are never easy to predict because derby matches have a way of surprising people. It's going to be like, these derby games are almost like cup ties in a way, because you don't know who's going to win, regardless of who's in the best form or not, because it's one of those days where it's a lottery, and certain circumstances could go one club's way or against another. Here's Ashley Young now down the right hand side for Manchester United. Plays a 1-2 with Rashford now, and Young goes again, wins the throw in halfway inside the City half. 11, nearly 12 minutes gone in the first half here at Old Trafford. Manchester United nil, Manchester City nil. Young has a throw-in. At Molineux, we played 27 minutes there, and it's Wolves nil, Arsenal nil in a very, very big game for very different reasons at Molineux. Wolves to try and get into 7th position, and Arsenal to try and sneak into that top 4. They're still in the Europa League, incidentally, and they can still win that competition. Here's Luke Shaw now on the far side for Manchester United. Back inside for Pogba. Pogba chips the ball in from the left hand side. Too much venom on the cross, and it was an easy take there for Edison, who bowls it out to the City right hand side. This really is a chess match a little bit, but United making all the early play, as you would expect. They are the home team, but you can't discount City. They are a fantastic side and play some really good football, as Bernardo Silva shows there. Into Sergio Aguero. Now there's an opportunity arising here. It's Raheem Sterling on the left hand side. Cuts inside. 40 about the shot. Still might come for City inside the penalty area. And United had enough defenders and enough wherewithal to get it away. But they did make a good start last week against Barcelona. They hit the bar in the first minute, United, but then went on to lose quite heavily. And they never got going at Goodison Park on Sunday neither. So you don't know what to expect from Manchester United. This is why I'm refraining from making any predictions on the outcome of this 178th derby. There's been a goal in the game at Molineux, and I'm afraid if Mike's tuned in, it's not very good news for Arsenal. They're losing by 1-0 against Wolves, who couldn't break down Brighton for love nor money in that Saturday game we brought you on Saturday. And in the end it produced a rare commodity for this channel, a live commentary goalless draw. We've not seen too many of those down the season so far. Let's hope he's not 2 in a row tonight. Let's hope both Manchester clubs really make a good account of themselves. So United as things standing in 6th place. City would be a point behind Liverpool if it was to stay this way, but Sterling cuts in from the left hand side. Sterling shot deflected. Many very difficult to air for the air, and he was going towards his right and then going towards his left rather as he looked, and then had to readjust to dive to his right, because as the ball came in from the left, the shot from Sterling, it hits Chris Smalling there. And on another day, if that deflection had been a bit more rapid, was going at a bit more of a rapid rate, that would have shot in. So De Gea was quite fortunate that the deflection took some of the pace off the ball. His Young crosses in, looking towards Rashford. Can't get anywhere close, but Pereira now has it, and he finds Young. And now Fred left-footed! Oh, just left right of the left-hand post. That was a terrific effort by the Brazilian. May not be Brazilian by name, but he's certainly Brazilian in nature, and his left foot there almost causing a very dodgy little moment there for Manchester City, and almost a great one for Manchester United. Jesse Lingard there just a little bit deeper back at the moment. Pogba now takes possession, lifts it in there, chance inside the area for Lingard as he tries to volley it goalwards from just to the right of the penalty spot, and he just volleys it wide. Two good opportunities for United in the space of around 30 seconds, but after 15 and a half minutes gone here at Old Trafford, it still remains here in the 178th Manchester derby. It's Manchester United 0, Manchester City 0. And Wolves winning in the other game, but they've been playing now for 31 minutes. Here's Bernardo Silva. He's got Sergio Aguero to his left. Picks him out. Here's Gundogan. Now David Silva picks the ball up. David Silva finds Zinchenko. It's Manchester United who have been on top in the opening jousting. It has been a lively start, as Russ says. The ball played in, and it's straight into the arms of David De Gea. City not really got going at the moment as an attacking force, but it's Manchester United here, creating the early pressure. It's a game that Pep would dare not lose. He can't afford to draw either, because that really gives Liverpool an advantage, and they've got a pretty good running as well, Liverpool, as it happens. It's been a rip-roaring start to the game, there's no doubt about that. A tremendous atmosphere with nearly 17 minutes gone here at this famous Old Trafford ground. A terrific venue for football, I think one would agree. At the moment it's 0-0, and Old Trafford is buzzing with excitement and anticipation. United have certainly been on top here, as Pogba now runs it back deep inside his own half and decides that the best way to go about it is to get the ball back to David De Gea. Don't forget, listeners, if you're listening to the game, be sure to drop a comment in the chat. We'd like to hear your opinions on this 178th I nearly said Merseyside derby again. It's Manchester derby. Come on, John, get it right. Anyway, it's Manchester United in possession with Luke Shaw now. Touches it back. Now Fred has it. Fred tries to control, but he's lost it this time. And City now making a good break towards the edge of the area. Might be an opportunity here for Bernardo. Just to the right of goal. Shot comes in, and it's a terrific shot. And it might have been David Silva, in fact. And he stung the hands of David De Gea. Now Jesse Lingard leading the charge through the centre. Rashford is up ahead, and out came the goalkeeper as Rashford came out, and Rashford has gone down in a bit of a heap inside the Manchester City penalty area, and Raheem Sterling, I think it's Raheem Sterling that puts the ball out of play. So Marcus Rashford here will have to get the physio on. It was definitely not a penalty, because as I see here on the replay, it's a good ball. I actually think Rashford is just a smidgen offside there as the ball is played, and Ederson clearly, as I've seen it on the replay, and I've seen it from two angles now, he clearly gets the ball before he gets Rashford, and to me that was never going to be a penalty. But Rashford was hurt, and then the opportunity at the other end, it was a good effort, and hit with some venom straight at the goalkeeper, and yes, it was. In fact, it wasn't. It was Bernardo Silva and not David. Bernardo had the shot, not David. Hard to tell those two apart, really. One's number 20 and one's number 21. I'm pleased to report that Marcus Rashford is up on his feet. Bernardo is actually making his 100th career appearance in senior football tonight. As we go past the 19 and a half minutes, we're nearly at the 20-minute mark of the game, so we're rapidly coming up towards halfway through the first half. My goodness, hadn't 20 minutes just flown by just like that? Meanwhile, Craig Porton and Pep Guardiola in consultations together. I'll be glad when it's half time I can grab a cup of coffee and get my breath back after what's been a rip-roaring first 20 minutes. United have dominated proceedings. Bernardo's come closest to City, and he stuck the hands of David De Gea. Sterling has had a shot that deflected that could have gone anywhere. Unfortunately for him, it went straight into the hair of that deflection. Fred has hit a terrific 25-yard extra set that's just gone wide of the left-hand post, and Jesse Lingard volleyed just to the right of the penalty spot with his right foot, again just going wide of the left-hand post. So they've had two good opportunities apiece, both City and United, but at this moment in time, as we approach the halfway point of the first half, it's still very much goalless. And we've had 20.5 minutes gone. That's 2-0, by the way, and a half minutes gone. And City now just keeping possession and just taking their time and just trying to pick the right passes out as Fernandinho takes possession on halfway, just drifts out to the right a little bit and finds Bernardo Silva back in field to Gundogan. Now City just looking to break very, very swiftly, but very cautiously as well, because this is a game they can't afford to lose here tonight, and they've given the ball away rather cheaply now. As Rashford goes down there on the challenge from Sterling and gets the decision. My goodness, in this first 21 minutes, Marcus Rashford has certainly been in the wars. But he's running an idea of the free kick on the right hand side. It's 10 yards inside the Manchester United half, and Ashley Young there just saying, just get in the penalty area, don't be too worried about that, and just get into the area if you can. But he goes back, in fact, and it's Darmian back to Smalling. Smalling now hits it forward for Manchester United. Wolves have gone 2 up. Doherty has got the second goal for Wolves. We don't know who's got the first one yet, actually. All we know is now it's 2-0, and we know Doherty got the first. If we can confirm the identity of the first scorer, we will bring it to you. We're almost at the halfway mark of the first half. We've just played 22 minutes gone. No goals here, but still plenty of good action. Here's Rashford, 35 yards, outstrikes the shot, and he hit that with some ferocity there with his right foot, and he just about cleared the City crossbar, but my goodness, Rashford seems up for it tonight, and he got into a great position, something like 25-30 yards from goal, hits it well with the right foot, dead central, and just looped over the bar, but there wasn't enough to spare, and it's a goal kick to Manchester City they've taken short. Ruben Neves has been cleared as the first goal scorer for Wolves, so 2-0 to Wolves. It's not going to be another happy night but Umar Emery's Arsenal, I'm afraid. And if Mike Hanneman is listening, I am sorry to report all this to you, and so is Russ, by the way. Anyway, 23 gone, halfway through the first half. Unfortunately, we haven't got you a goal here, but there's still a long way to go in this 178th derby, and I'm sure we'll get a goal at some point. But it's not been a bad, for 0-0, it's not been a bad watch. It's been really good to see, and both teams very committed as they all are. Just the one yellow card, incidentally, that was to Vincent Kompany in the opening exchanges of the game when he blocked off Marcus Rashford. But apart from that, it's been far from a dirty game, and that's going to be a free kick against Herrera. But Andres is on the back of his shirt. Zinchenko is the man he's tagged there, as he got the ball from Kompany here on the near side. It's the City left as we look, and probably the boys have been into David Silva. But well, I'll tell you what, if Herrera gets away without a yellow card, then I'm very surprised. And what's happened here? Yes, yellow card, and that I'm not surprised. And you know, in some cases you could argue that was a red card, because he went in with the stud showing. The only thing that might have saved his skin, that it wasn't 2-footed and it was just a 1 foot, as I've seen it on the replay. But if you watch it back on replay, you're not watching the action to my commentary. Well, if you watch it back later on, you can make your own mind up. But you know, that was a very reckless challenge, and on another day, another different ref might have seen it differently and shown in the red card. There's another City player gone tumbling. The referee telling them to get to their feet. City have possession, incidentally. Still 0-0, but the game just getting a little bit now of a needle contest as Zinchenko gets the ball from Laporte, and the ball is played in there towards Sergio Aguero, and Aguero holds off Smalling, gets away from him. Now can he get past Ashley Young? That's a good cross. Header only half away. Bernardo trying the overhead kick, and it just goes wide off the left hand post and behind for a goal kick to Manchester United. So still 0-0, but Bernardo with another half chance. But First time we've seen Sergio Aguero really threatening that final third. Good running down the left-hand channel. Good little cross. Poor header away, really, by the defender, which was Lindelof. But in the end, the overhead attempt, a la Dennis Stewart, all those years ago in '76 when they won the League Cup, City that year. Well, he wasn't going to repeat what Dennis Stewart did at Wembley all those years ago. 43 years since that happened. I'm going to Solskjaer, a little concerned, but United have been the better team, certainly in possession stakes. I'd like to see the possession there. Rashford has gone down, and again he's been picked out for special treatment from the Manchester City player. And we've had, well, just as I said, we've only had one yellow card and said it was far from a dirty game. We've seen 2 yellow cards in about a minute. Commentators curse and all that. Zinchenko is the latest one in the book for fouling Rashford, and now all of a sudden Andre Marinez decided that that was a high foot as well. I think that's a bit harsh. I think Young makes a little bit of a, or rather Rashford makes a little bit of a meal of that. The first one anyway, but certainly Zinchenko now has got to watch his steps. So 2 in the book for City, Zinchenko and company. 1 in the book at Pereira, although I have to say he's very, very lucky to still be on the pitch. Another referee on another day could have deemed that a red card. It's not a yellow, but it's a free kick to Manchester United. To still have 11 men on the field. We've been playing nearly 27 minutes and we're still yet to see the first goal, yet to describe the first goal for you. It's still 0-0 between these two great Manchester clubs. So much success between them. Manchester United certainly winning more of the trophies but City having more in the recent years. As Young plays that free kick, and it was a 6-yard area, and it was a good interception by Fernandinho, I think just in the edge of the 6-yard box. Otherwise City were in massive trouble there. It was a terrific free kick from the right hand side into the area by Ashley Young, and well done Fernandinho. He was beautifully positioned to get the ball away, just got in there and got a decent foot away there and just got it out towards the City left hand side. Well played there, just got his left foot out, stretched it and got it away. 27.5 minutes gone at Old Trafford, still goalless. Manchester United and Manchester City in the 178th local derby between these two great Manchester sides. And it's the red of Manchester United have possession now with Pereira. Very lucky in my opinion, maybe on another day to still be on the pitch. Another day it could have been a red card. And here come Manchester City now looking to come charging forward with Kyle Walker infield again. This really has been a classic. Just needs a goal here. Raheem Sterling is on the left hand side inside the United half, but to the left hand bar line, ball pulled back across, and there were plenty of sky blue in the penalty area, but they just couldn't be found. Meanwhile, Fernandinho makes a terrific tackle on halfway line as Pogba was launching an attack there for United. And here's Bernardo now on the left, back inside. Ilkay Gundogan looking for support, and now David Silva has possession, and now Zinchenko has it, and Sterling back to Zinchenko. Now Fernandinho, who's playing okay, has the holding midfielder, doing a terrific job. Gundogan and Walker. Still 0-0 here. Coming up to 29 gone in minutes. Still no goals yet. Surely something's got to come very, very shortly. I can't see this match ending goalless. If it does, you can blame me for putting the commentator's curse on it. Here's Raheem Sterling crossing from the left hand side, well taken inside the 6-yard area at the far post by David De Gea, whose handling is a lot more assured than what we saw a week ago in Barcelona in that ill-fated exit from the European Cup at the Nou Camp Stadium. Possession, in fact, has gone City's way, and they've made double, maybe treble the amount of passes, and they've been better on passing accuracy. They've conceded 5 fouls to United 3, and they've created, in fact they've made, United have done 105 passes and City nearly 200, so maybe I was a little bit hasty there, but United have certainly had the better of the opportunities, and they certainly had more of the set plays. So at this stage, now looking at the statistics from a neutral point of view, I think it's probably, even Stevens is probably just about right at this current moment as City try to come forward, but once again they lose possession. And here's Marcus Rashford. He's got Lingard to his left hand side, but good tackle there by Laporte. Took the ball well and truly off his feet, and it will be a throw in on the right hand side to Manchester United, and almost in line with the edge of the City penalty area. Ashley Young now is coming towards the near side to take it, the Manchester United right. United attacking the goal to our right in this first half. City attacking the Stretford end. United will be kicking towards the Stretford end, their favourite end in the second half. And hopefully, if it still remains 0-0 and the game in the balance, they'll be hoping to suck the ball into the back of the City net in the second half if it was to be goalless at that stage of proceedings. As City try to launch another attack, Bernardo hitting too much of a heavy ball forward, and in the end David De Gea was able to pick the ball up. Meanwhile, at the other end, Company hitting a very, very wayward back pass, which could have gone anywhere, but to be fair to Hedison, the goalkeeper controlled it well and just got the ball out, and that's what you need to do when you're presented with such a very, very forceful back pass like that. Here's Zinchenko though on the ball for Manchester City. Back in field, back inside to Zinchenko again. He's got Sterling as an outlet on the left hand side. Sterling will try and run at Ashley Young again. Sterling, who's the man in form, tries to get a crossover. It will be a Manchester City corner, and Ashley Young has hurt his left leg or left ankle, I think. The captain, he's managed to jump up onto the both feet, but he's limping rather heavily there. Referee Andre Mariner across there, the Birmingham official just over there, just to see how Ashley Young is. And I don't know. I think he could be needing treatment in the next few moments. To be fair to him, he's going to try and play hard. Here's Gundogan to take the corner, left hand side as we look. Right footed, he's gone short in fact. To David Silva, Zinchenko, back to Gundogan who took the original corner. Zinchenko again, left footed, hits the ball into the United penalty area, dealt away there by Lindelof. Bernardo now hits, I thought that hit an arm there of a Manchester United player. The referee isn't interested. Play on it still is. Ashley Young still walking gingerly there, I can see, as City play the ball in. There's been another goal at Wolves. We'll get the scorer confirmed in a second with Russ, but Wolves have gone 3-up against Arsenal. That's what you need to know. As David Silva plays the ball in, Aguero inside the penalty area. Back towards Raheem Sterling once again. 33 minutes gone. The ball chipped in there towards the back post, headed away again, this time by Luke Shaw. Now Bernardo Silva has the ball. It's half time incidentally at Molineux. And we'll bring you the news of that third goal scorer on the comment section with Russ. And Sterling goes forward, gets tagged but stays on his feet. Never going to be a penalty. And now Manchester City now just starting to make a few opportunities. Zinchenko now having a lot of possession. Diego Jota is the identity of the third goal for Wolves. It's turning into a horror night for Arsenal, it looks like, down at Molineux, and that now is a half-time scoreline. The game kicked off incidentally at 7:45 in the Midlands tonight. In Manchester, it's still 0-0, still 0 apiece, and well, really anything could happen. But it's been a good watch to say that it's a 0-0. Zinchenko now for Manchester City coming forward. Ball back inside again to Fernandinho. Now Zinchenko again. There's had a lot of the ball in the last 5 or 10 minutes, the Manchester City defender. Laporte now takes the ball on halfway and again feeds Zinchenko. Zinchenko again surrounded by Manchester United players. They probably brought all 11 players back behind the ball as City look to try and pick the lock into this Manchester United defence. It's in the centre with Gundogan. And again, it's just patient build up, and here's Bernardo Silva on the far side, the City right hand side as we look. The ball back in field to Fernandinho. Now goes back to halfway. Company now finds Zinchenko, who's had a lot of touches of the ball this last 10 or 12 minutes. Here's Raheem Sterling as we come up to the final 10 minutes of the first half. It's still Manchester United 0, Manchester City 0. Little chip in there towards Sterling. The flag had stayed down and Sterling could not control it, and the ball rapido goes out of play and behind for a Manchester United goal kick. No offside against Sterling. He was well onside as he made the initial run. Despite United's best efforts to try and play offside, it was definitely on. No goals in 13 appearances for both Liverpool or Manchester City against United. There's probably due a goal against here at Old Trafford, but he's never scored in 13 matches against the men from Old Trafford in his Liverpool days or at Manchester City so far. Remember, at half time Russ will be with you for the 15-minute duration, where he'll bring you reaction from last night's Premier League games, where Watford and Southampton drew 1-1. Southampton I think moved to 37 points now in the table, so they should be okay barring accidents, and Brighton were narrowly beaten 1-0, so the pressure's still on Chris Hughton's men, as they're only 3 points above Cardiff City, and Cardiff play Fulham at the weekend, and that could be a real deciding factor there. Fulham, who have won their last 2 incidentally, if they win that one, what a blow that would be against Cardiff. Manchester United's next game incidentally is against Chelsea on Sunday. Also on Sunday, Burnley against Manchester City, and what a game that really promises to be. The Saturday game also returns on Saturday with at least one live commentary. We're not sure what it is. We might even do 2, depending on the availability of other commentators, but we'll let you know in due course. But you'll certainly hear at least one Premier League game on the Saturday game live, of course, and we'll give you everything from the full classified check to the reaction from whatever game we cover on Saturday. So the Saturday game returning to the JB Clark YouTube channel on Saturday. Anyway, back in the Wednesday game, and it's Zinchenko in the Manchester derby for City as he plays the ball out to the left hand side. It's Raheem Sterling. We've played 37.5 minutes. Sterling trying to lay the ball in, almost did so, but Ashley Young doing well there, and yeah, Mike, he is furious, and I thought he would be very disappointed. Well, if you're an Arsenal fan, it must be disappointed, but Arsenal Fan TV will be a good watch after I've finished my commentary stint tonight. Obviously I'll settle down to watch the Arsenal game another time, but this one has been a very compelling watch, even despite the fact that we haven't had any goals. But still a good, intriguing watch as Sergio Aguero was brought down rather clumsily there by Fred, midway inside the Manchester United half. So City have a free kick in what could be a very promising position. That's a step, well, that should be a stick-on yellow card for me. That I'll be very surprised if Fred gets away with that. And the referee now, I have to say, he's been okay, but Fred has got away without being booked, and I think that's a very unfortunate decision. So he has actually started his last 5 games here as Fred. Certainly not a Brazilian name by nature, but certainly a Brazilian by nature. Well, anyway, 3 kick to Manchester City. 39 gone, 6 minutes to go to half time, plus any stoppages. So there's 6 minutes of normal time, as I say, remaining. David Silva's going to take the 3 kick. Laporte has come forward as the ball is swept in, but the ball is hit with too much rhythm, and it's gone behind for a Manchester United goal kick. So remember, Wolves are 3 up at half time, and Russell will bring you up to date. By the time we get to half time, it'll be time for the second half of that game, and Russ will bring you the opening exchanges of any action that goes in at Molineux, and obviously we'll keep abreast during the second half. Remember, that's a 7:45 kickoff for future reference. Anyway, back to the game here at Old Trafford. We're just about to go into the final 5 minutes of it, as the goal kick is taken short, and it's back. And once again, here's Ashley Young now for Manchester United. As a neutral, it's not been a bad watch, just lacks a goal. That's all it needs, a goal, one goal, and business is booming in this particular derby. 178 in all. Manchester United have won more than their share of them. City have won just over 50 and 52 draws, and 70 odd won by Manchester United, of course. Pogba has it for United. Been a little bit quiet the last few minutes. Here's Shaw to Fred, but Fred gives the ball away rather carelessly. Fernandinho picks the ball up, plays it out to the far side, but Walker loses possession. Now Manchester United have a chance to kill here, and it's Pereira now. He's got Rashford and Lingard up ahead, but he showed too much of that to that Manchester City backline. Company's ball, not the best. Pogba intercepts, did well there. My goodness, if anyone needs to put on a good show tonight, it's him. Paul Pogba, been subject of transfer speculation, presumably to Real Madrid, as Pogba goes down a little bit theatrically, I have to say. I didn't think he needed to make such a meal of it. It is a free kick to United, by the way. It was a foul, but Pogba's theatrics tell their own story, and now he's acting as if he's been shot. I hate that. It's certainly from the foreign players' point of view. I just don't like that sort of trait in their game. Anyway, 3.5 minutes to half time. Still goals here in this 178th derby between Manchester City and Manchester United. So many great clashes down the years as the ball is chipped in from the right hand side. Ederson patted the ball down and then got the ball at the second attempt, and he tries to release Sterling through the centre from the kick taken from the hands, and a one ball forward once again from Manchester United, but the company has got that one well under control. 3 minutes of normal time to go. 70% of play is dominated by United. United have had United have had 5 shots to City's 3, but City have had 2 on target and United have had the 1. As we go into the closing stages of the first half, about 2.5 minutes to go, plus any added on time, which I suspect will be between 1 to 2 minutes, maybe at very, very best. I can't see it being anything else at this moment in time, but it's been a good watch. It's been interesting, and it's been all in all very enjoyable, but still no goals yet. We haven't had one now for nearly a game and a half now on the JB Claret YouTube channel. Are we going to get one here with David Silva? Played in towards Aguero, and he still might break. Aguero, Sterling inside the area. Raheem Sterling away from 2-man shoots, and somehow the goalkeeper, right almost on the line, grabs the ball when he looked all the while that Raheem Sterling from close range was going to put Manchester City in front. That's the best chance of the game. City worked the ball magnificently well. Aguero had it, then Sterling beat 3 men, got the shot off, but what a reaction from David De Gea. David away to his right, grabbed the ball and kept hold of it, and Pep Guardiola, no wonder he's got his head in his hands as Manchester United come charging forward at the other end. Here's Pereira with a shot charged away. Vincent Kompany in the way, at this time it's what you call putting your body on the line. That looked a clear handball there by Fred, but the referee didn't spot it. But City come away with the ball. It's still 0-0 here, and what a game this has been. And Gundogan goes down. Free kick to Manchester City, 5-10 yards inside United half, just inside the centre circle. 1 minute plus added time to go at the end of the first half, and I'm sure Russ Vernon will be ready on cue within those 3 minutes, and I'm sure he'll have all the recordings of last night's interviews all ready to play while he's playing you those and reviewing the last night's action and keeping you up to date with events at Molineux. I'll be off for a well-earned cup of coffee. Here's Zinchenko. Last 30 seconds of normal time. Little chip in there towards David Silva. Back to Raheem Sterling on the left-hand side for Manchester City. Back into David Silva once again, but he's lost possession. And here come Manchester United. 20 seconds of normal time remaining. Here's Pogba now, but Pogba's just showing too much of that. And here's Gundogan to nick the ball for City. And here goes And here goes David Silva. Finds an opportunity and the shot goes wide. It was Sergio Aguero on the right hand side, edge of the penalty area, and hits it in the end well wide of the left hand post. And there's going to be 2 extra minutes at the end of this very compelling, very interesting but goalless first half here. We scuffed the shot well wide with his right foot. But you've got to say, you've got to admire some of the approach play from City. This was the Sterling chance, and this for me should have been a goal. If it goes either side of De Gea, it's 1-0 to the current league champions. A little deflection even could have took it away from De Gea, but instead it still remains goalless. As I said, 2 added minutes. Here's Jesse Lingard now for the centre, but where's his position? He's been a bit quiet tonight, Jesse Lingard, by his own high standards. I've seen him have better games for England than he has for Manchester United. Here's a chance now for City now, edge of the penalty area. Again, Gundogan sold down the river a little bit. He's gone down injured. Referee played on. It's not a head injury, so United entitled to play on. I'm not keen on that rule. I think players should be allowed to put the ball out of their own esteem, or the referee should be able to stop it. I don't know why FIFA just fixed those rules. In fact, well done to Marcus Rashford for putting the ball out so we can get some treatment here. But Gundogan and Pep Guardiola is absolutely going ballistic down on the bench below me, and that looks a very nasty injury indeed for Ilkay Gundogan. I'm surprised that Mr. Mariner didn't blow straight away, because that looked a horrible injury, has to be said. Look at that, it's just unbelievably ridiculous. That's Jesse Lingard, that. Now then, did he go in hard? He got the ball, but it was a very dangerous tackle, and I'm very amazed that Lingard hasn't been spoken to there by the referee, because that's endangering the opponent. Yes, he's got the ball, but his studs are definitely showing it, so that's a very, very appalling tackle, really. Never mind the fact that he gets the ball, that's irrelevant to me. What is relevant, that the studs were high, and on another day another referee could have seen that as a foul, and Jesse Lingard could have easily, if not booked, been sent off. I think one or two United's tackling has just bordered on the fine line of acceptable and non-acceptable. I'm pleased to report that Gundogan is up on his feet. Now the good thing here is they can get him sorted out at half time if they choose to, and it's up to Pep Guardiola. We've played well over the 2 minutes. There might be a few seconds more added on, so we're coming up to 3 minutes of stoppage time played at the end of what's been a compelling 45 minutes of commitment, sheer endeavour and opportunities, but yet no goals. We've had 3 minutes of time added on, so we've played over the 2 minutes now, due to the fact that Gundogan is injured, but he's back on his feet and getting treatment on the far side. And so we play on now, and City sportingly give the ball back to David De Gea, who can now restart the game. How long will Mr. Mariner from Birmingham add on? He has checked his watch, I've noticed, as he walks very, very casually inside the centre circle as United casually play the ball out, and the referee points to the tunnel, and there we go, half time. Well, for a first half that's been goalless, it's been plenty of excitement, plenty of endeavour, but no breakthrough at the moment here at Old Trafford in this 178 Manchester derby. The nearest we've come to a goal from either side was Raheem Sterling's chance about 4 minutes from the end of the first half, where he hit it straight at David De Gea, where either side could have been crucial. So the scene here at Old Trafford is it's Manchester United 0, Manchester City 0, and we're going to hand you back to the studio, and Russ Vernon will be ready to take you through the next 15 minutes, and I'm off now for a well-deserved cup of coffee, and with that it's back to the studio and to Russ with the scoreline: Manchester United 0, Manchester City 0.
Thank you very much, JB, and very good commentary in that first half and falling game. As JB said, but no goals as of yet, but well, it's half time. I'll bring you up to date with the rest of the scores first and foremost in today's other Premier League match. And at half time, if Mike Honeyman's listening, sorry Mike, fetching this up once again. It is Wolverhampton Wanderers 3, Arsenal 0, with the goal scorers Ruben Neves on 28, Modurti on 37, and Diego Jota on 45 plus 2 at the interval. But right now I'm going to take you back to last night, and there is an interview coming up now with Tottenham Hotspur boss, Tottenham Hotspur boss Mauricio Pochettino, as he praised his side and is also relieved after breaking down a brave Brighton side thanks to a late Christian Eriksen goal. This is what Mauricio Pochettino thought of his team's performance.
Richie, we're doing a lot of pacing up and down the touchline in the second half. I can't imagine that was that much fun to watch.
I was at the game, even with the last days, things, at least down, and I was opponent grass, difficult to the game. The most important, I think, we believe the back to try the way to score simply do an amazing goal from Christian. We can get the 3 points. So important, very important point to be in a position of the table.
Yeah, I mean, it really does put you in a strong position now because 2 of the remaining 3 games are here, and so far you've played 4 here and won 4 without conceding a goal, so you must feel confident about that.
Yeah, you know, always it's about to, of course, with your confidence. Of course, it's going always the games are completely different, and Saturday is going to be another tough game against West Ham. Of course, you must be confident. Of course, the team is doing a fantastic effort after the game that you played in Manchester. It wasn't the team pressure like we wanted, or no one elected, but fine. And of course, that's why we congratulate them. Time to drive them because they deserve full credit this season. Of course, I am so proud of
There was quite a lot of long-range shooting off target during the game, and Christian Eriksen obviously is one of the best in the Premier League, isn't he, at that distance?
Yes, Christian is how we can describe Christian is a player that in our ideas, the way that we play, and we have the capacity to shoot from outside the box, and forward is a team like Lancashire was really tough to broke down and try to score from outside to the box. I think Christian was an amazing shoot, and I think it was amazing that he get on the end, the shoot and the goal, and I think provide the team 3 amazing points that for us is so important.
And just finally, Maurizio, how are the energy levels in your squad? There's some really big games to come, obviously Champions League again next week, and you're dealing with your injuries and you're rotating.
Yes, we are not thinking too much. We try to deal with that. Of course, we have some position on the pitch that we can rotate because we have enough players, but in another position we didn't have. And of course, it's more difficult to rotate. Yes, it's a little bit a shame that we don't have all the squad fit for this amazing end of the season. But we trust and we need to handle it in the best way, try to find a way to be competitive in every single game. I think it's important to do that.
That is Mauricio Pochettino there speaking with the Beeb for last night's performance over Chris Hughton's Brighton, who will now bring you his reaction. And he told the BBC he was incredibly disappointed with the performance from his Brighton side.
it wasn't. And there were some games where you think they're going to run up, they're going. But that stage of the game, I thought we weathered the storm, had to defend very, very well to a game plan. It was always going to be difficult, more difficult to get out. I think the longer the game went, but I thought we did, so it's incredibly disappointing. Change all of it in that moment, but there were a lot of things that did.
Really small details always decide these games, Chris. Just before Tottenham scored, you were on a counter-attack, and Baron Kyle decided to have a shot at goal, and gave the ball back to Tottenham. Would you have rather that you kept the ball there, or tried to keep the ball and run it down to the corner?
I think what we probably had in that period of time, there are moments where I thought we could have managed the game better, particularly at that stage of the game. Yes, that was part of it, but I think we had a couple of other opportunities as well to manage it better. And they're the details that make the difference, particularly against the team, but the quality of what
the game's gone, and the point that you almost had there, Chris, is gone. So I guess you won't worry about that now. It just puts a little bit more pressure on the weekend, doesn't it? It can't a play for you, and if they were to win their game at Fulham, then you really are going to have to deal with some pressure your players on.
Yeah, well, that pressure is something that we've put on ourselves. One thing you always have to do, you always have to be able to deal with that pressure itself. We've got 3 games, and we need to make sure that we get enough points from these 3 games to secure our status in this division. So the pressure comes with the territory, and the only way that doesn't happen is if we are in a more comfortable position, and we're not. It's something that we're going to certainly have to deal with.
And are you confident you can find the goals, Chris, that you'll need against Newcastle? Because obviously it's been a little run now, but without scoring.
Yeah, well, we found it difficult in the opposition half in the final third. And what we have done is that we've got back to how we were as resilience in the team, to shape themselves hard to beat. We've never been big goal scorers, and we've relied on certain sections of the team. But whichever way, then we need to get it done. We have an opportunity at home on Saturday. The performance comes first, and if the performance is good enough, then we have an opportunity to win.
I guess as well, Chris, I'm talking about that Newcastle game. There's still 2 games to come after that, and I think the way we work as media and fans work is they look at those like Arsenal and Man City, and they immediately write them off. But actually, what we've seen over this weekend, the last few days, people shouldn't necessarily look at them like that. I mean, I know you said it well.
Well, we don't ever, and although the club at our level, it's always more difficult playing against the top 6, but we will never go to any of them games home and away thinking that we are going to lose. We will have a game plan that will keep us in the game, a game plan that will try and get something from the game. You are reliant on an opposition team, particularly say the top 6 that are not at their best that day, maybe a little bit of fortune, a little bit of luck, reflected goals. So you generally rely on something, but top 6 teams can't play well all the time. You need to see them moments.
Just finally, Chris, you made 6 changes to the game tonight. Was that about resting players for the Newcastle game on Saturday? Was it also, for example, the front 3 actually gave you quite a lot of legs and pace and power? Was that the idea?
There were a couple of decisions I had to make that might have been forced on me, but I think my thinking before the game was that we've played Saturday midweek, Saturday midweek, then we go again Saturday, and particularly games like this and games like Saturday, they take a lot out of you. Also, they take an emotion. You take a lot out of you. So really, it was about making sure that we had fresh legs. I said before the game that whichever team I play, and exactly whichever team I play on Saturday, there won't be a big difference in the team. It's what they have to do.
That was Chris Hughton there, and he was reflecting on his team's performance at the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Before I fetch you the action from reactions there from the other game last night, I'll take a look at the latest Molyneux C-Fit is. Still 3-0 to Wolves. From what I'm looking at here at the moment, it looks like it is still 3-0 to Wolverhampton Wanderers against Arsenal this evening. Elsewhere this evening in La Liga, Atletico Madrid beat Valencia 3-2 in a 5-goal thriller. Espanyol and Celta Vigo drew 1 apiece. Drawing 1 apiece. Athletic Bilbao are 1-up at Leganés, and Levante are beating Real Betis by a goal to 0. In the Dutch Eredivisie, SC Utrecht beat Fortuna Sittard 2-1. PEC Zwolle are losing 2-1 to Groningen, and Feyenoord 2-0 up at NAC. And in the Coppa Italia semi-final is AC Milan 0, Lazio 0. Aggregate scoreline 0-0. Celta Vigo at just the second equalised. Maximiliano Gomez Gonzalez with the goal. Right now then, I'm going to hand you over to last night's other game in the Premier League, where Watford came back and rescued a point against Southampton. It's Javier Gracia.
A lot of minutes without a goal in the game. It's true, we consider.
Just bear with me a sec. Signal lost from the Javier Gracia interview. At the moment, we'll try and rectify that. Here it is.
And a late goal, I know which one you prefer.
A lot of minutes without a goal in the game. It's true, we consider an early goal and it changed. What we felt because considering a goal after some seconds is something difficult to accept. But we tried to play as usual. The first half we didn't do it. I think that Southampton played better than us, and they had more chances to kill the game. But in the second half we changed something. I think we found a better balance, and from this situation we were able to create some chances at the end of the game and scoring one goal. We could score another one, but I think today we get a very good one.
The opening goal is going to become a famous goal. It's the fastest goal in the Premier League. You've got to analyse it. Do you feel your team made any mistake, or is it just a bit of a freak?
Yeah, I think I'm sure in that moment.
We will have to cut that interview short with Javier Gracia as the players are back out on the field, ready for the second half to kick off. So best hand you back over to our big match commentator for the second half. Levante is 2-0 up now against Real Betis. Lazio gone 1-up against AC Milan. But time to hand back over to our big match commentator at Old Trafford, John Stoddard. Back over to you. Are you ready, mate?
We're ready to go, and it's just about Manchester United about to kick off. Thank you to Russ Burden as we get this second half underway. No changes from either side. As I can see, and all 22 players are present and correct as Manchester United get us underway. Let's just remind you of the two teams: De Gea, Lindelof, Smalling, De Mayen, Shaw, Pogba, Fred, Pereira, Ashley Young, Jesse Lingard and Marcus Rashford, the 11 for Manchester United. As Manchester United have got some defending to do here. As Sterling is on the left hand side, ball in there towards David Silva. The cross was blocked. Just to run through the city lineup quickly: Ederson, Walker, Company, Laporte, Zinchenko, Gundogan, Fernandinho, David Silva, Bernardo Silva, Sergio Aguero and Raheem Sterling. On the bench, United, Romero the substitute goalkeeper, Alexis Sanchez, Juan Mata, Lukaku, Martial, Dalot and Nemanja Matic. For Manchester City, Muric the substitute keeper, Danilo, Sane, Riyad Mahrez, Nicolas Otamendi, Gabriel Jesus and Phil Foden, who scored the winning goal on Saturday against Tottenham Hotspur at the Etihad. So here come Manchester United with Luke Shaw down the left hand side, and he finds Marcus Rashford. Rashford faced by Kyle Walker here. Goes back inside to Paul Pogba, midway inside the City half. Plays it out towards Ashley Young on the far side. The Manchester United right takes on Sterling, takes on Zinchenko. And Manchester United get the decision. The ball must have deflected off Zinchenko, who disputes the decision. I've got to say, it didn't look as if it did deflect off Zinchenko, but it's not my opinion that counts. It's the linesman on the far side, which is Simon Long, and it's a corner kick. No change in the score at Molineux. They play 63 minutes there, incidentally, and it's still Wolverhampton Wanderers 3, Arsenal 0. We've had 2 minutes gone in the second half here at Old Trafford. Manchester United 0, Manchester City 0. Here comes the corner from the far side, up towards Smalling, headed back into the danger zone, and Laporte got it only half away. Laporte will knock the ball back out again from Fred's long ball. Fred again takes the possession, and fantastic little stat there for Russ about Wolves, which I'll come to you viewers listeners in a minute. Here's Fred for Manchester United. Lindelof now finds Darmian, and Darmian gets the ball forward. The ball out to Young on the far side. Young into Pereira. Back to Young again. Manchester United now on the prowl again at the start of the second half. They're looking very menacing. Solskjaer has obviously put something very, very good in the tee. As the ball played in, it's Paul Pogba inside the area, he goes down. Referee said no penalty. To be fair to Pogba, I don't think there was any great appeals. There weren't too many appeals from Manchester United, probably more from the Stretford end than the United players. But Manchester United are just really threatening and on the prowl at the start of the second half, and almost got the breakthrough. Here's Kyle Walker now on the Manchester City right. Plays the ball out to Bernardo. Back to Walker again. Walker gets the ball back to Vincent Kompany. He's got Eric Laporte in support as he gets that ball forward on the left hand side. And here's Raheem Sterling, the man who's been in red hot form for Manchester City this season. The ball back to goalkeeper Ederson. We've had nearly 4 minutes gone in the second half here at Old Trafford. There's another player gone down injured, and we're going to have the ball out of play on the far side. Fernandinho's the latest one to go down. I wonder what Darren Luiz will say about all this. He accused Burnley of exactly the same thing, of us being anti-football the other night. Not sure you can accuse neither of these two teams of being anti-football. That was a terrific challenge, and I think Pogba realised. And again, it was Fernandinho. What a brave tackle that is, because Pogba's about to pull the trigger there, and he just gets his foot in the way, gets plenty of the ball, not exactly of the man. And it was a terrific challenge, and I don't think there was two great appeals. There weren't any rather big appeals there from any of the Manchester United players. There were shouts of penalty from the Stretford end naturally, as we're going to see the first alteration in the game. Nearly 5 minutes into the second half, we're going to see Leroy Sane introduced. He's just talking tactics on the tablet system there with perhaps right hand man Mikel Arteta, the former Everton and Arsenal player. Fernandinho is, I'm pleased to report, he's back up on his feet, and he's going towards the near side of the ground. So we're going to have a little bit of stoppages at the end of this one. And it's back to Fernandinho, who's not going to take any further parts in this game, and indeed it's Leroy Sane who will replace him now for the remainder of the match. Fernandinho's had a good derby, done really well, put in some fantastic tackle. That one opportunity that he saved, a goal for City, well, it's turned out to be his last contribution of what's been a terrific game for him, but it's ended with him being injured and taken off for precautionary measures. Right, then we're back with the action. United played the ball back to Edison rather sportingly, and now City have possession again with Kyle Walker. Threads the ball to the other side, and it's the left-hand side. Zinchenko back inside to Laporte coming forward. Now the ball is with Raheem Sterling. Sterling does really well. Got the ball from Kyle Walker, incidentally. But then Sterling has to retreat and plays the ball back to Eric Laporte. Still 3-0 to Wolves, incidentally. In fact, I'll just quickly turn to Russ's stat here. They're actually leading the Premier League game by 3 or more goals at half-time for the very first time ever in Premier League history. Here's Leroy Sané now for Manchester City. Good football again. And Aguero good going forward, but he was tracked rather easily there by 2 Manchester United players. Watched him like a complete orc. Still, City have possession at halfway with Gundogan. He's played it out to the left-hand side here, and we're just waiting for that opening goal. I'm not sure it's very far. I'm pretty certain it's not going to be far coming. With Leroy Sané now on the scene, he has possession on the left-hand channel. Now the ball has been threaded back towards Gundogan, and Gundogan takes possession. We've had 7 minutes of the second half. Still 0-0 between Manchester United and Manchester City in the 178th Manchester derby being played tonight at Old Trafford. City holding their bragging rights, having beaten Manchester United by 3-1 at the Etihad back in November. And now the ball played back inside. A real opportunity here for Gundogan. Gundogan does well, but he retreats. Finds Zinchenko. Gundogan takes possession again. A little chip in there towards the penalty area. Good turn. Sané cross and almost found Aguero. And I think Chris Smalling got back there for Manchester United inside the 6-yard area. And Manchester United now looking much more sounder in defence than they have been in the previous 2 games against Barcelona at the Nou Camp and Everton at Goodison Park. But still no breakthrough. Here's company now for City. And he picks out Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker has Raheem Sterling on the right-hand channel. Back into Walker now. Gundogan takes possession, looks for options, finds it in Bernardo. Bernardo running into the area. Bernardo shoots inside of the approach. He scored! The league leaders take the lead in the derby. It's Bernardo Silva and Manchester City go in front at Old Trafford in the 178th Manchester derby. Old Trafford standing to silence by 2,500 delirious Manchester City supporters who go absolutely crazy. And Bernardo has scored an absolute worldie. Lovely approach play this from Manchester City. Moving the ball round it well. Bernardo gets the ball right hand side of the D, cuts inside and hits it terrifically well beyond the near post, the right hand post of David De Gea. A terrific shot. Watch this again. I'm just watching it again. Left foot, bang, into the net it goes. And De Gea beaten by the ferocity of the shot. Not a lot he could have done about that, to be fair. And Manchester City go 1-0 into the lead. And that could be a very big goal in the race for the title, and they'll be mourning on the red half of Merseyside as well as the red half of Manchester. 7th league goal of the season, and Manchester City, who could now move a point clear of Liverpool as things stand. Liverpool have got to play Huddersfield at Anfield on Friday, so this is how it stands at the moment. City top with 89 points from 35 games. Liverpool 88 points from 35, and Manchester City have a plus 66 goal difference. Liverpool have a plus 59, but they can certainly add to that plus 59 against Huddersfield, as I say, on Friday. Meanwhile, City going forward. Again, a shot, and it's almost wide. It's almost in fact, but it's just wide of the right-hand post with the right foot. Sergio Aguero almost making it 2. Aguero played the ball in. Sané flicked it on. David Silva got the ball back, and I think it might have cut the right-hand post, you know. Good right foot effort. De Gea beating a mile. And yes, it hits the outside of the right hand post and wide. City here taking it all now to the United. 10 minutes gone in the second half. United 0, City 1 in the Manchester derby. And Russ says that's 244th goal for City in Manchester derbies. But here come United looking for one themselves, and it was Lingard. He's on the 6-yard. Lingard again. He's pulled it. It seems so easy to score. Left hand post, the far post. Rashford crossed it back from the right. And all Lingard had to do was tap it home. And he completely miscued it. City made an absolute mess of clearing it. Rashford pulled the ball back. And Lingard just had to control it with his had to just hit a control shot with his left foot and failed to do so. He gets a second opportunity. He slips though as he turns inside the City area. And City can get it away from Zinchenko on the left-hand side, but he's only giving it to Ashley Young. City's lead is a good lead, but it's a slender one. United hit it back. Young goes down. No foul. He dived. Clearly trying to fool the referee, Andre Mariner, and of course him and his assistant on the far side, Simon Long, were never going to fall for that little con trick. Good refereeing and good officiating from both men. Anyway, here come Manchester City now, looking to break away with Leroy Sané down the far side. Infield to Sergio Aguero. Good tackle again. Manchester United now up against it. They've missed two good opportunities. Jesse Lingard here. First one laid him, it went behind him, and then Walker made a bit of a hash with a clearance, and then all he had to do then was put the ball in the net. Russ has asked me to give a mention to a friend of his called Brad Hicks, who's a Leicester City fan, and he's listening to the coverage. Well, Brad, if you're listening to the coverage, get a subscription in, and don't forget to hit if you want notifications, Brad, hit that bell button. You know, we'd love to have you as a subscriber. If you haven't subscribed, please do, and hit that bell button for all notifications on my YouTube channel. Thank you very much. I hope that has made your night. Anyway, back to the game, and it's Leroy Sané on the left-hand side, edge of the area. Silva crosses the ball back. That's David Silva, that is, but it's come quite evadingly for Luke Shaw. Now Manchester United to break away, and here is Kyle Walker back to Eric Laporte, and here's Ilkay Gundogan. It's quite up to speed now. Did look very groggy at the end of the first half, I seem to recall, but the old magic sponge has worked a treat during the half-time interval, or something has been put in the half-time cup of tea that has certainly got him up and about again, as Vincent Kompany has to pirouette away from Jesse Lingard, who was closing on him like an absolute vulture there. And now the ball threaded back. Laporte just gets it back. Safety first to Edison. Edison on the edge of his own 6-yard box. Plays it out to the right-hand side, and it's Kyle Walker. Walker goes back, and again he goes back to Vincent Kompany. City just trying to take the sting out of it a little bit with this 1-0 lead. A goal from Bernardo Silva 10 minutes into the second half is the difference. And here they come again, City. Always look a very good threat when they attack again. And here's Bernardo inside from Sterling's pass. There's a player gone down for Manchester United midway inside the half. And it's Chris Smalling, in fact. It's Gundogan. It was the man who was trying to play a 1-2 with Sterling. And yeah, caught Sterling. He caught... well, Gundogan, who caught Chris Smalling there. Painful one there for Chris Smalling. Gundogan, who got a painful one right at the end of the first half this evening. Well, Mike Phelan and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer were plenty to ponder here as Aguero runs charging forward and Sterling lays the ball back, and thankfully there Manchester United had plenty back, and Fred was the man who got a foot in and stopped Aguero from trying to score another goal in the Manchester derby. Remember, he needs 3 to be the outright leading goal scorer in Manchester derby history. That record, of course, is held by Wayne Rooney, playing for Manchester United in his days at Old Trafford. Here's Ashley Young now for Manchester United. How they could do with someone like Wayne Rooney now on the field, and Cristiano Ronaldo to get them back into this game. How they could do with Sir Alex back on the bench. If anyone could G them up, Mr. Alex Ferguson could. But as the ball is played in, and well taken there by the goalkeeper again, Edison. He's had a safe as houses sort of game today. hasn't put a foot wrong in any department whatsoever. Burnley's City's remaining fixtures are away at Burnley, then they've got to play Leicester City in their final home game, and then they travel to Brighton and Hove Albion, who are fighting for their lives, so that's no gimme. But you would fancy City to take points against Leicester and Brighton. They might struggle a bit at Burnley, because Burnley are in very good form, and they gave Chelsea a real scare on Monday night and got a 2-2 draw. And if Chris Wood had just kept his head in the second half, Burnley could have nicked that 3-2. Manchester United's final 3 fixtures, again they have the relegation scrap. They play Chelsea at Old Trafford on Sunday, and then on the 5th of May they go to Huddersfield, and then they play Cardiff here on the last day of the season. And what a game that promises to be. Again, they could have a say in who stays up or goes down. And as I said, the Blue Road agendas are still not too far off that 4th spot, but they are down in 6th place as things stand. But the title race is getting very, very interesting, and the pot is thickening very, very rapidly here in this seesaw race for the title between City and Liverpool. As things stand, the lead is going to change hands yet again. For the umpteenth time this season, as Shaw lays it into Pogba, 25 yards from goal. Now Fred has it. He came very close with a 25-yard shot earlier on in the piece. Back to Fred again. Into Pogba, edge of the area, goes down. Referee says 3-kick Manchester United. It's very central. Maybe just left the central. Bernardo was the culprit. Yeah, just on the tackle from behind. Instant 3-kick. That's 156 goals that City have scored in all competitions, if you include the League, Carabao competition, FA Cup and Champions League. That's 156 goals in all, and as I said, it's 100 league games for City in fact, and it equals the whole time top division record for goals in a single season, is it? Anyway, back with the game, and it's a free kick to Manchester United. Well, we'll just give me that little stat. He's not just our presenter tonight, he's our Albert Schul. He's our sort of like, if you like, statistician as well. He's come up with many stats and facts here tonight. But meanwhile, here in this 178th Manchester derby, we have a free kick situation. It's a very important moment in terms of the destiny of the game. Pogba and Fred and Lindelof are the 3-man committee. Now, will it be the left foot of Fred or the right foot of Pogba? This will be interesting, and it's going to be Pogba with the right foot. Pogba hits it straight in the wall. Pogba again tries the shot, but City clubs down on him like a ton of bricks, really. There was about 3 or 4 blue-shirted City players coming back to stop Pogba from trying to hit the second shot again, and the crossing from the the right hand side has gone out of play on the left hand side, and a free kick, or a throw-in, sorry, to Manchester City. 63 and a quarter minutes gone, and it's Manchester United 0, Manchester City 1. Arsenal have scored incidentally at Wolves, so they pulled the game back to 3-1 there. Socrates, the Greek defender, has scored, and they've been playing. They've got 10 minutes to go in that game, but it looks as if it's going to be more than consolation. And TD and Robbie and Heavy D on Arsenal Fan TV, they'll be ranting and raving into the midnight hour in deepest Black Country territory tonight. Arsenal Fan TV, always a great watch, especially if Arsenal lose. No disrespect to Mike, Russ's very good friend. Anyway, a very bad defeat. Looks as if Europa might be the best way of winning a trophy. They're in with a shout at that. Maybe Unai Emery saving his best performances and his best players for that competition. Maybe he feels that obviously Spurs are going to finish possibly third. Chelsea is still fourth as things stand. And I don't know who wants that fourth spot. No one seems to want it at the moment. Remember, if they finish fourth, they've got to play a third qualifying round or playoff round in order to get through to the group stage of the Champions League next season. That's the policy for any Premier League team that finishes 4th. Anyway, here's Raheem Sterling. Cuts in from the left-hand side. Sané now on the left-hand side for City. Sané shoots for the keeper and in! And City double their lead! And it's the substitute Leroy Sané who makes it 2-0! What a great run to set it up for Raheem Sterling. Cut in from the right-hand channel. Laid the ball across the penalty area. He was picked up by Sané to the left of the area. Cut inside, shot at goal, and David De Gea, it seemed to go right through him. Maybe the Spaniard should have stopped that. But nevertheless, it's a great moment in the title race again for Manchester City, who go 2 goals clear. The run from Sterling takes on 3 United players, draws it out to the left-hand side, and David De Gea should save that shot from Leroy Sané. But full marks to the run from the right, cutting in from the right by Sterling, the right-footed drive. That should be safe for me. David De Gea should be saving that. That's not a good attempt at all to save it. Should have gone with both hands. Went with the legs. And has got punished for it. It's 2-0 to City. And their goal difference gets larger and larger by the minute. 10 goals in the league this season for Leroy Sané. Double figures for him. And it's 2-0 to Manchester City. And as things stand, unless there's some sort of a remarkable comeback from Manchester United, and it will need a comeback of titanic proportions now, City look as if they're going to do the league double over their City rivals. And more problems piling up for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who's surely going to have a very big summer window. Well, David De Gea will be furious. And he says he wants to be one of the top earners at the club. Well, with shoddy goalkeeper like that tonight and in Barcelona last week, I'm not sure he's worth 300 grand a week. This is savable for me. Sané's hit it pretty hard, but he should be going in with both hands, and he's gone in with his left foot to try and divert it wide, but really he should be going in with both arms to try and save that. That was not. I think he made a very, very big meal of that, trying to save that, and it was poor. Poor goalkeeping and beaten at the near post. And if he's going to have any designs of being the highest paid player at United, he needs to start booking his ideas up and getting into some kind of good form. Because at the moment, De Gea is conceding a lot of unfortunate and preventable goals, not just from him, by the way, but from his back four. And I think the back four need a real retune, I think, during the summer. They need a good sturdy defence. How they could do with the likes of Bruce and Pallister back there to saddle the nerves. And of course you could argue Vidic and Ferdinand, of course. They were 2 colossal centre backs in their day. Rio Ferdinand must be watching at home and tearing his hair out at the United defence. How they were caught so square. They were drawn out to the run of Sterling, and he played a lovely simple ball to Leroy Sané, who smashed it inside the near post with his right foot, as I say. But David De Gea, it's poor goalkeeping. Meanwhile, we've got Andres Pereira down, and he's injured, in some discomfort there. The referee again has had to stop it. We've had a lot of players going down. Just shows how long and tiring this season has actually been. Well, he caught him there, I have to say. Whether it was intentional or not, no, he won the header cleanly, and it's just his follow through that caught Pereira there from David Silva. So we're coming up towards the last 20 minutes. There's a JB man of the match to consider, and you've got 20 minutes to pick your man of the match. You know the drill. The name of your chosen player, and hashtag it with the words JB Live. Hashtag JB. Sorry, let me just go through that again. Not JB Live, JB MOTM. Right. You know, it's a long time since I've actually had to do this properly, so bear with me again. So the name of your player, if you're voting for man of the match, and hashtag it with JB Live. Hashtag JB MLTM. JB MLTM. So I'll go through it once again. Name of your player, hashtag JB MLTM. Right, we've done it. Third time of asking and we've done it. I've not done this for a long time. Remember, I've been out for 3.5 weeks until the other week through a viral infection, so it's been a long time since I've been required to do the JB Man of the Match vote. Anyway, instruct that. So just to remind you, the name of your player if you're voting for Man of the Match, and it's hashtag JBMOTM. Very important you put that. And you've got until the 90th minute of the game, and Russ has done straight away that Bernardo is his choice, and if that one vote wins it, he will be Man of the Match. The man with the most votes gets the JB verdict. Meanwhile, Manchester United, looking for 2 goals to get themselves back into this game, have not made a substitution as yet. Leroy Sané has made a real difference coming off the bench for Manchester City, and they've been really ruthless. Pereira hits the shot from 25 yards just to the right of the penalty, right to the D of Manchester City, and he hits it into the Stretford end and behind for a Manchester City goal kick. And it's been a really frustrating night for United, who have played well in spells, but yet again are just falling massively short. And in fact, I think they are going to make a substitution and call that commentator's intuition, if you like. And they need a striker now. Pereira is off. Very lucky not to have been sent off, in fact, in the first half, Pereira, in my opinion, for a very, very dodgy challenge. Then here comes big, bulky number 9, Romelu Lukaku, former Chelsea, West Bromwich Albion and Everton striker. Never really got the opportunity he craved at Chelsea. Went to West Brom, did really well there. And then he got sold to Everton, where he scored many, many goals, and then was taken on to Manchester United, where he really hasn't set the world alight really for Manchester United, but he has scored a few goals for them, but hasn't really hit the heights where he hit at Everton and West Bromwich Albion before that. Well, Hoston United, as I say, quite a lot of money. I think there are a lot of individuals that really do need to go in the summer at Old Trafford. There are a few that really aren't fit to wear the United shirts, and I'm not naming names. But Paul Pogba making a big deal of wanting to go to Real Madrid, but he wants to go there, but he's asking for stupid amounts of money. I think he's looking for like about 400 grand a week. No footballer worth his soul's worth 400 grand a week. Not even the greats like Messi and Ronaldo should be worth that much a week. It's just ridiculous the amount of money footballers want in this day and age. Which is why the grassroots is always such a relief to watch sometimes. Anyway, back at the top end of the English game, City 2 up, and I have to say tactically Pepper's got it spot on. He's been brilliant. His substitution came at the right time at 0-0, and he absolutely has done a fantastic job on Manchester United so far. A little deflection on the attempt to cross from the right hand side, and look at Sergio Aguero now defending from the front. That's absolutely immense from the Argentinian, you've got to say that indeed. As we go into the final 16 and a half minutes of the game, and of course the JB Man of Match. 1 vote for Bernardo. If it stays that way at 90 minutes, we will reward him with the award. Not that he'll get it, of course, but as things stand, they've got a positive goal difference now of 67 now, Manchester City. Liverpool 8 goals behind with plus 59, but they could score. I think they're very capable of scoring 4 or 5 against a very, very poor Huddersfield team on Friday night. And that kicks off, I think, about 8 o'clock, I think, in the evening. In 2 days' time at Anfield. Meanwhile, Edison was miles off his line there, and here's Rashford. Rashford on the edge of the penalty area, picks out the Lukaku on the far side. Lukaku's crossed back, and a chance for Lingard after Edison has spilt it, and it's come off Lingard and it's gone behind for a Manchester City goal kick. Just sums up Manchester United's night in a nutshell, this. Again, good approach play. A little bit lucky there, Jesse Lingard, to get the ball back a second time. Laid it in to Lukaku, who kept his head, went past one man, went past Zinchenko. Goalkeeper half parried it, and he just went too fast for Jesse Lingard to be able to stick the ball into the City net. It remains 2-0. We're now coming into the final quarter of an hour. And in fact, we've got 15 minutes to play exactly now, plus stoppage time, and it's Manchester United 0, as I say, Manchester City 2. in what's been a compelling 178th league derby between these two sides. But it looks as if Manchester City are going to do the double, and it also means that it's goal number 157 of the season now for Manchester City in all competitions. Still 3-1 to Wolves. They're playing out the final seconds in that one. They've played 2 minutes of injury time. That game kicked off 15 minutes before this one at 7:45. This match, remember, kicked off at 8 o'clock tonight, incidentally. As Manchester United 2-0 down, they need 2 goals and maybe a snooker or 2. And how appropriate to say that sort of word when we've got the World Snooker Championships going on at the Crucible in Sheffield, where we've seen Ronnie O'Sullivan dumped out by an amateur in a qualifier. And that's a turn up for the book. Rocket Ronnie, I saw him the other night play his young lad James Cahill, and he really did look a shadow of his old self. World number 1. He didn't play like that the other day. Meanwhile, back with the football, here's Rashford. He's got Lingard to his left. Here's Marcus Rashford towards the edge of the area. Lukaku tries to snap shoot from the edge of the area to the right hand side with his right foot, but he gets it well wide of the right hand upright and behind for a goal kick. Going back to the World Snooker Championships, Rocket Ronnie did not look like a rocket. And full credit to James Cahill, who comes from Blackpool incidentally, and he's the first amateur to qualify for the World Championships in the Crucible Theatre era, and he played really well, showed no sign of nerves, and deserved to go through by 10 frames to 8. So just I thought I'll put one out there for the snooker fans who may be listening. And of course, snooker is all the rage at the moment. There's a new PS4 game, a new console game come out for that, Snooker 19. Once I'm back in the money, I might just buy that and give you all a bit of a snooker treat maybe later in the summer on this channel when we've got no football. Anyway, back with the game here, and the title race is now hotting up at the top of the English Premier League tree, because Manchester City will be 1 point clear and obviously 8 points ahead of Liverpool in the goal difference department. But I'm sure they'll knock a few goals past Huddersfield, who look a team completely out of sorts, and they've been relegated with a complete not a whimper, and we'll have to regroup for the Championship next season. Here's David Silva into Sergio Aguero, who hasn't scored yet tonight, and I don't think he's going to be the top Manchester Derby goal scorer of all time tonight. Bernardo chips the ball forward, and the ball ricochets quite luckily off Sane, but it goes over the top. The attempted clearance there by Chris Smalling, and the final whistle in fact has gone after 6 minutes of stoppage time at Molineux, and Wolves have won by 3-1. Another bad night for Arsenal there away from home, and I wouldn't fancy their chances at Turf Moor on the last day of the season. Sorry, Mike. And again, me and my brother might be going to watch live, so there won't be. So if that's the case, there will not be any last day Premier League commentary on the channel. Handball there by a Manchester City player, and it's a free kick. And it's taken quickly now to Marcus Rashford. Rashford now in field. Back to Paul Pogba. Pogba now lays it off. A chance here now. Fred trying to lay it in. That's a poor ball by Fred, and it just goes way into touch, almost towards the left corner flag and behind for a goal kick. 11 minutes left plus stoppage time, and time rapidly running out again for Manchester United, who are going to lose their second derby of the season, and it looks as if Manchester City are going to do the league double over their City neighbours. And what must Sir Alex Ferguson be thinking right now? If only he was a few years younger, he would be still the manager. And really, they've lost their way since Ferguson left. Moyes lasted almost 1 season. Van Gaal lasted 2 seasons. Mourinho 2.5 to 3 seasons. I mean, how long will they give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? I mean, Ed Woodward has made totally a mess of the recruitment policy at Old Trafford as De Gea gets the ball away, but then he finds Sane, and Sterling takes possession, and City are rampant here as David Silva tries to lay the ball off to Aguero. We might have looked offside actually, so we've got just under 10 minutes to go down at Old Trafford. I think it looks as if it's going to be a City victory, and the title race takes another twist now towards Manchester City. The pendulum swinging back and forth. Liverpool, you would fancy that will beat Huddersfield and beat them really well on Friday night, and the pressure will be on Manchester City on Sunday as they go to Turf Moor to face my team. Meanwhile, Shaw has fouled his man on the near side. Free kick to City, almost in line with the edge of the United penalty area on the right hand side. It was Sterling he pushed over. We've got 9 minutes to go, so we're coming up to 81 gone, and City have the possession, and it's floated in. Almost too much running there by Gundogan. We've played 81 minutes, and it's still Manchester United 0, Manchester City 2, and United preparing a double substitution. Here's Alexis Sanchez, who's United's best paid player on almost $500,000 a week. I'm not sure his performances justify his wages, incidentally. Not sure if he's worth £500,000 a week, by the way. But when that breaks down at about probably about £20,000 a minute when he plays for Manchester United. Nice money if you can get it. Also, Anthony Martial about to enter the fray. But United will have to hang fire on those two substitutions. I think Ole Solskjaer's got it wrong tonight tactically with the substitutions, maybe, but Pep got it right. He knew it wasn't working, brought on Leroy Sané, and he's really had the desired effect. Bernardo has gone down. Paul Pogba trying to get him back up to his feet. You can understand Pogba's frustration, but I think Bernardo was genuinely fouled there. Jesse Lingard has gone off and Anthony Martial's gone on. Lingard's been a little bit unfortunate tonight. He's played okay. So Anthony Martial comes on for the final 8 minutes, and also we're going to see Alexis Sanchez on, and Darmian has gone the centre back. So it looks as if United are going to throw everything bar the kitchen sink at the City defence in the last 7.5 minutes plus any injury time. Remember, the whistle has gone at Molineux, and Wolves have beaten Arsenal 3-1 at Molineux, and that is a result. Here in the game at Old Trafford, we've still got 7 minutes just over to go, and it's still 2-0 to Manchester City. And barring accidents and United making the mother of all comebacks since Tiger Woods, then I think it's safe to say that Manchester City will do the league double and will go 1 point clear at the top of the Premier League as this title race plot really thickens. It's really an intriguing one with less than 2 rounds of. City will have 3 games to play after this. So this is an intriguing one now. As Sterling plays the ball into Aguero. Sterling looked as if he'd been held back. Referee Andre Mariner thought it wasn't. Play on, says the referee. United win a free kick. Martial was fouled. So a free kick now to United. They're 2-0 down, remember. They're running out of time. They need 2 goals or 3 goals plus a heavy load of snookers if they're going to topple Manchester City's Premier League dreams. Here's Martial, the number 11, the man wearing the former shirt number of Ryan Giggs, of course. One of the great United players. And how many goals did he score against Manchester City in his time? How many crucial goals? He got some crucial winning goals at City in his days at United. Here's Luke Shaw now for United, chipping one in there. But again, you've got to say City's defending has been top quality, top draw. Company has been disciplined despite picking up that yellow card earlier for that. But illegally stopping Marcus Rashford as he tried to go through. But there will be wholesale changes at Old Trafford. I would expect that in the summer. I think it's a bit early to start calling for Solskjaer's head. He's only just got the job. You know, he needs a full summer window behind him, get his own men in. Remember, this is a side he's inherited from I think Jose Mourinho spent very, very unwisely in the last few windows here. He's gone for individualism over the team ethic as Pogba tries the shot, little deflection, and in comes the goalkeeper to take the ball. We've got 5 minutes left to play. Just lost sound there for a second or two, but we're back live with the action now. As City come charging forward, and the ball out towards the far side. Aguero couldn't keep that in play, and that's gone for a throw-in. So really a big game, a big match, and City have been the better team, certainly over the game, over the period, over the 86 minutes that we've now been going for. And again, we'll try and, as I say, at the end of the game, I'll take a breather and take a long break, and Russ will present and wrap up the loose ends, dot the I's and cross the T's, as you like, as so we build up to the climax of this 178th Manchester derby from Old Trafford, live on the JB Claret YouTube channel, and it's Manchester United 0, City 2, Manchester City 2, and 3.5 minutes left to play. Here's Eric Laporte now for Manchester City. Keeps possession, finds Zinchenko. Look at this passing statistics: 633 passes and 86% accuracy for Manchester City, as we now go into the closing stages of the game.
We have just lost sound momentarily with JB live in position at Old Trafford. We'll try and re-establish the lines very, very shortly. We're still 2-0 to Manchester City here at Old Trafford. Not missing anything at this moment in time, and I think I'll try and see if we've got him back for you guys. Is JB back with us yet? Doesn't look like the sound lines to Old Trafford have come back to us just yes, so we'll try and get those tier very re-established very, very soon. We're still 2-0 here at Old Trafford to the visitors in the 178th Manchester derby. So we'll try and fetch and re-establish the lines very, very soon. JB, are you back with us yet, mate? We appear to not be back connected with JB as of yet, so if you just stay with me at the moment as we try and re-establish the connections to JB. We'll try and get the connections back with JB very, very soon.
Right, we're back live. We've got sound back.
We're going back. So back over to JB.
Lost sound there for a second or two. Sorry about that, guys. Russ just took over for a few seconds. I'm sure Aguero's gone off incidentally. But it's still 2-0 to United. We're in the last minute of the game, and I can confirm now that the JB man of the match is Bernardo for Manchester City. He's done really well, played really well. Honourable mentions, of course, to Leroy Sané. Gabriel Jesus is the player that's come on. Pep Guardiola still demanding more towards the end of the second half there. Thanks to Russ for filling in there for a couple of minutes there at the end. So we're 20 seconds away from the end, and I'm sure United will not want too long in stoppage time, because it will be a relief to them to see that board go up, and I just think they want to get back to the sanctuary of the dressing room. Just to remind you, 4 added minutes. Well, that just tortures them a little bit more, and we're now into the first of the 4 minutes. Just to confirm, Bernardo is the JB man of the match, Bernardo Silva. Here's Lindelof for Manchester United in being able to Smalling, and Ashley Young has worked tirelessly hard as Old Trafford, as I can see across from the far side, emptying one after the other. United fans who have clearly seen enough, but I've seen enough evidence there to say that Manchester City will take some beating on in terms of going for the league title. They've done it before. Pep Guardiola's been there, seen it, done it, got the t-shirt and the trophies. He's won everything there is to win in Spain, everything there is to win in Germany, and he could do so here in England. They're on course for the domestic treble, which has never been done in football history. The League Cup, the Premier League title, or the league title, and FA Cup, which they face Watford, incidentally, at Wembley in middle May. The game you can hear live on the JB Clark YouTube channel, and the kick-off for that one will be 5 o'clock, and I will be the man on the mic on Cup Final day. I tell you what, that is always a highlight for me, the FA Cup Final. It's the game you always look forward to. Remember, Manchester United lost on November the 11th, and they haven't lost both meetings. City last did the double in 2013-14, and 6 years on they're going to do the same again. We're almost at the halfway mark of the 4 added minutes, and it's Bernardo and Sane, the heroes tonight for Manchester City, the goal scoring heroes if you like for Manchester City, as Jesus is fouled by Shaw. I think there was no flag across the chest there from linesman Scott Ledger on the near side, but the referee had given that decision, and that will suit Manchester City. They'll try and hook the ball down the right hand channel into the corners, I would suspect. There's nobody waiting in the centre for a cross field ball from the right. In fact, Walker has hit it towards the far side and almost found, in fact did find Leroy Sané, and Young, he actually kept that into his, no, he didn't keep that in, it's gone behind for a goal kick. Well, for a moment he had kept it in, but he didn't. So a minute and a quarter away from the end, and Manchester City are going to take 3 crucial points across Manchester to the east side of the city, back to the Etihad Stadium from Old Trafford. And here's Kyle Walker bursting the gut down the right. He'll go to the corners, I fancy here. He's faced by 2 United defenders. One is Martial, one is Fred, and he was clearly pushed to the ground, and I'm surprised Scott Ledger did not give the free kick there to Manchester City. He was perfectly placed, the linesman on the near side, and he didn't give it. Here's Ashley Young. Young now to Alexis Sanchez, and here's Paul Pogba. Surely those two must be amongst the players that Solskjaer must get rid of, because they're both individual, greedy, and only think about themselves really. Here's Paul Pogba once again. Just hasn't shone for me again tonight, Pogba. He flatters to deceive. Is he really worth £89 million? Is he worth the money he gets paid? Same you could say for Sanchez. You just have to wonder. Here's Lukaku. Lukaku crossing in. Pogba trying the overhead, but the referee has blown for a foul, and well, Pogba has just really rubber stamped his awful evening by giving away a free kick. We've played 4 minutes, and surely that's that as far as the game is concerned. Been a desperately disappointing night. Manchester United will be furious. Is anyone wanting to get into the top 4? Arsenal lost 3-1 tonight. As soon as I'm off the mic, Arsenal Fan TV will be meltdown, I can tell you. It's the City fans, all 2,500, and they cheer as one as the final whistle sounds here at Old Trafford. And more problems for Manchester United as they stay in 6th position, beaten so well by a very ruthless Manchester City side. Goals from Bernardo and substitute Leroy Sané, enough to take them well over the line. The second one you might have to put down as a mistake to David De Gea, but having said that, United stay in 6th place with 64 points. And Manchester City now move 1 point clear and have a goal difference of plus 67, 8 ahead of Liverpool at the moment in terms of goal difference. So in theory the lead is 2 points if you take the goal difference into account. But they have a very tough fixture on Sunday afternoon, where they go to Turf Moor to play Burnley, who have just come off the back of a terrific result at Stamford Bridge a couple of nights ago, getting a 2-2 draw against Chelsea, as both sides sportingly shake hands at the end of a very passionate and very, very feisty derby. There was only 3 or 4 bookings in the whole game, so compared to other derbies in the past, I actually thought it was quite a clean game. But the spoils and the double in terms of the localness of the derby go to Manchester City. Bernardo after 54, Sané after 66, and that is enough for City to take all 3 points and complete the league double and go 1 point clear of Liverpool, who play Huddersfield on Friday at the top of the league. And with that, back to Russ to round up the rest of the night's action. Back to Russ.
Thank you very much, JB, and fabulous commentary from our resident commentator, main voice of the Premier League action this season, Mr. John Stuttard. So thank you very much, John. And while we're waiting, try and see if we can get any reaction before I wrap up and finish the programme around about 10 past 10 this evening. I will bring you up to date with the rest of the results from tonight's matches, which I'll just get up in front of me right now to bring you up to date with the rest of the scores from today's action. So in the Premier League, he finished Wolverhampton Wanderers 3, Arsenal 1. Thanks to goals from Neves, Doherty and Jota in the first half, Socrates in the second with 10 minutes to go. Elsewhere, you have just heard goals from Bernardo and Sané seal a 2-0 win for Manchester City in the 178th derby. Manchester derby, that is. City now claimed a 53rd victory over Manchester United. They have 73 wins. Manchester City now have 245 goals to Manchester United's 257 rather. Wayne Rooney incidentally remains the top goal scorer in Manchester derbies with 11 goals. So as I say then, Manchester City winners double over Manchester United as well, winning 3-1 back in November 2018. Elsewhere, the running coming up there, Liverpool v Huddersfield on Friday, as JB mentioned, for the Premier League title race. Manchester City, incidentally, they don't play till Sunday against JB's side Burnley at 2:05 at Turf Moor. Also on that day, Manchester United take on Chelsea at 4:30. Leicester versus Arsenal is a 12 PM kick-off. So then, rest of the action then in La Liga, bring you up to date with what happened in La Liga. Atletico Madrid 3, Valencia 2, as I said earlier. Espanyol 1, Celta Vigo 1. Legians 0, Athletic Bilbao 1. Levante leading 3-0 against Real Betis. That is being played around about 67 minutes of that encounter. In the German DFB Cup, Werder Bremen 2, Bayern Munich 3 is a full-time score. And in the Italian Coppa Italia finished AC Milan 0, Lazio 1. Carrera scored on 58 minutes for that game. Elsewhere, former Leeds United man Marcus Antonsen scored one of 4 goals as Malmö won 4-1 against Hammarby IF in the Swedish League. IF Elfsborg beat Örebro SK by 4 goals to 2, with although Leeds man Pavel Cibicki getting one of the 4 goals for Elfsborg this evening. In the Russian Premier League, Zenit St. Petersburg beat Dynamo Moscow by 2 goals to 0. CSKA Moscow beat Anze Maashkala by 2 goals to 0, while Lokomotiv Moscow beat SC Rostov by 2 goals to 1 as well. Elsewhere in the Dutch Eredivisie, FC Utrecht beat Fortuna Sittard by 2 goals to 1. Pek Zwolle versus FC Groningen match was abandoned due to the weather, with the score 2-1 to Groningen, and Feyenoord won 4-0 against NAC Breda, also in the Dutch Eredivisie. This evening in the Austrian Bundesliga, Red Bull Salzburg beat RZ Pellets by 3 goals to 1. Austria Vienna drew 2-2 with St. Pölten, while Sturm Graz beat LASK by 2 goals to 1 in the Austrian Bundesliga. So then I'm just going to bring back in our big match commentator this evening a moment. John, can you hear me? If you can hear us, that is. Wonder if JB can hear us. We're trying to get a reaction from the managers before we leave you around about 10 past 10 this evening, and I'm going to try and fetch in JB if he's around and if you can hear me at the moment. Try and fetch you some reaction from the man of the match, Sky man of the match, which is David Silva, should I say, who is the first opposition to win 6 Premier League matches at Old Trafford as well. And this is an interesting stat which I've just seen come up here now. In 16 games since December the 30th, Newcastle United are the only team to take a point off Manchester City in the Premier League. Only team to score twice against them in the Premier League as well, Rafa Benitez's men. So very well done to them. So that's a fantastic result for Man City in the title race, as JB said as well. And we are waiting to try and get some reaction before we finish on air at 10 past 10 this evening. Wonder who we'll get to speak to, who we'll get to hear from. Will we hear from the Sky man of the match, David Silva? Will we hear from our man of the match, Bernardo Silva? And will we hear from either of the managers, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Pep Guardiola? Also, we'll try and get some reaction as well from our big match commentator, from his overall thoughts as well before we finish this evening. So, I'll see if he's around now. John, can you hear me? Wait and see if we can get that back. See if we can get him on in a moment. As we're just seeing the goals, there's Leroy Sané's goal to seal the win. And after Bernardo Silva pulled the blow off of Manchester up. The blow off of Manchester fans will be saying, Manchester is blue. And I agree. Vincent Kompany with a big smile on his face. Pep Guardiola hugging his players as well. Edison coming off. Bernardo Silva celebrating as he comes off of the field as well. And in the studio, from the TV pictures I've got in front of me, is Gary Neville, Roy Keane, Graham Souness, and Joe Hart. And let's see if we can get some reaction from one of the former Man United players. Roy Keane speaking now.
Getting the people, yeah, we know City have got a lot more quality, but I reckon the City players couldn't really go easy ones tonight in a derby game. You know, you gotta put demands on players. I think it was just an easy night.
Do you think they would have thought that was an easy win for them? They're 11th. You know, back on the bench.
I thought City in the first half an hour was as sloppy as I've seen them, and to be fair, there's such high standards that you think every time you watch them, it's about precision, the quality of the movements, the quality of the passes.
But was that because United were making it difficult for them?
I think United played a decent game. I think United, to be fair, I think that's as good as United have got.
It's a good one shot on target.
I don't think that's as good as they've got.
One shot on target at home.
I know, but I think that's that team. What we saw there tonight between Manchester United and Manchester City was the golfing class between the two teams. I think that's everything United have got. I don't think I looked at any player on that pitch and thought they could have given more. That's what they are. I mean, yeah, Daylayed, to be fair, you know, he's not normally like.
You need to see Fred for the second ball there. The honourable players.
I think that's what he's been since he's come.
But that's not giving you all. You're saying they gave it their all. That's cheating. What he done is cheating. Letting the guy run off him.
I think that's what he is. I think, to be fair, he's a defensive wide. He'll skip into challenges. He'll get beaten. People will go past him. Sometimes he'll win it. Sometimes he won't. And for me, watching Fred all season, he commits himself into challenges and gets skipped past, and he can't get one. He can't recover. He's not got the legs, and that's what he is. There's nothing I've seen tonight from United that makes me think they could have given more. They could have, not made some mistakes, but that's the best they've got, I think.
We'll come on to the 2-0, the friend that you're talking about, Roy. Joe, is that a little bit unfair? Should we be giving City more credit rather than saying that that's really all that United have?
No, I think, like I said, United came out. They had a lot of criticism on Saturday against Everton, and they had to come and they had to press and they had to show enthusiasm. They've got an awful lot of quality, but Manchester City are never going to panic. I know when we were coming through the teams and it was getting to the big stage of the Champions League, for example, there was still that moment where we weren't quite sure whether we were going to be able to handle it because we were a new side growing. This side know they can handle it. They know they can handle any team in the world at any moment. So even when a Man United come with 75,000 people behind them, they don't panic. They play their football, and then they know at some point someone's going to score them the goal they need.
Dare I say, Graham, you even said, "Come on, United." At some point.
Yeah.
That is some of the reaction from former players, from two former Man United players in Roy Keane and Gary Neville, and former Man City goalkeeper Joe Hart there as well. We'll try and get a bit of reaction from the current players, the current players and managers before we finish around about a minute time. I don't think we'll be able to get any reaction this evening from any of the current players involved, but JB, are you back with us yet? I don't think JB is back with us yet. I don't think we're going to get any reaction from any of the current players this evening. So Bernardo Silva gets your JB man of the match. David Silva gets man of the match from the TV companies. But speaking of reaction, we've got Vincent Kompany and Leroy Sané speaking with the broadcasters this evening. Vincent Kompany up first.
We didn't start as well as we would have liked. But at this stage of the season, in these kind of games, it can happen, and we stay calm.
defended well when we needed to, and then second half we got into our rhythm, and we felt first half we were creating chances already. Second half we were there to score goals, and that made a difference today.
Leroy got one of those goals. What was the manager's instructions to you when you came on?
I think, like always, just to produce the game, bring more rhythm into the game, to defend really good. And I think, obviously, like Vinny said, the first half we didn't get really in rhythm. The second half we did it really much more better, and that's why I think we could do a really good second half.
There's so much competition for places in this Manchester City side. Is the best thing you can do when you have been left out is come on and score?
Yeah, and if I come on and score, I think then I can be happy. If not, then I won't be happy. But no, it's all good. We have a really strong team, and I think everyone who's playing from the beginning, you see, we have fantastic players in the squad. That everyone is playing really good, working really hard. So the players, even me, who's sitting on the bench, they have to be patient, have to work harder to come on, and to show the coach that you can also play.
They're all huge right now because there's such a thrilling race between you and Liverpool. But does tonight feel particularly significant because it's here, because it could have been difficult?
To me, it's significant because it's, as I said before the game, it is a
derby.
Exactly. So for me, that's the reason why. The league, nothing's played it yet. Burnley is it's a difficult away game, and then Brighton and Leicester at home. So still a lot to play for ourselves as well, but for Liverpool too. I'm happy because it's a derby, and then the rest of it we'll deal with it in the next day.
The fact that it was your game in hand, though, do you feel this is very much still in your hands? And 3 wins, you're champions once again.
For us, it's in our hands. We have just to do our game, like we always do, to be focused from game to game, and then I think we will see at the end of the season what happens.
What do you think it will take from you to do it?
You mentioned it. 3 wins. We shouldn't expect the opponent to drop points. So 3 wins, but wins are difficult in the Premier League. So I think we're gonna go back in our routine, recover tomorrow, prepare for strengths and weaknesses from the opposition. And then if everybody does the right thing, then we're always at our best, because if this team prepares well with the amount of competition we have, we always have a big chance to produce a good performance.
Congratulations, well done, both of you.
Yeah, thank you.
That is Vincent Kompany and Leroy Sané speaking with Sky's Jeff Shreves this evening. So I don't think we're going to get any manager's reaction this evening. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wrap up coverage this evening. So Manchester City win 2-0 at Old Trafford in the 178th Manchester derby at the game this evening. Yeah, I think it's going to be a big ask now for Liverpool to keep the pressure on. It looks like Liverpool have got the easier games, but Man City, when they look like they're struggling, doesn't seem to drop points. So when they've got tough games, they still seem to enforce a victory, do Manchester City. So I think I'm going to of Roy Keane and Gary Neville, 2 former Man United players. You heard from former Man City goalkeeper Joe Hart. You've heard from Man City captain Vincent Kompany, and Man City score of the second goal Leroy Sané as well on the programme this evening. But I'm going to wrap up now and say thank you very much, JB, for the commentary this evening. Thank you to the listeners who tuned in. Braddix has been one of the listeners as well. You've heard some reaction from the game as well, from after the games with Jeff Shreves. But until the weekend here on JB Clare YouTube channel, from myself, Russ Vernon, from John Stoddard, thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you again at the weekend. Take care, guys, and goodbye for now.